So, game 2 coming up here, and I think we're ready to get into the picks and bans, not the P's and B's.
All right, let's get into the Ixpay Ansbay right here on the SPL.
Latin.
I'm glad you knew that.
Is Variety Production, is Variety back in? I know he was having some issues, and that's why he wasn't able to play. Okay, so excellent. Variety is back for game 2, and Barton didn't really play bad.
I don't think Barton had anything to do with that loss.
I think Variety normally brings this hyper carry late game that we've seen Dignitas draft for him later on, and they didn't have that when they really needed it in the late game.
And just so the fans at home understand what happened, Variety did not oversleep a la Allied. This Cyber Variety actually had some technical difficulties, not able to land in game 1, so he'll be here for game 2. No problem representing Team Dignitas. The bans are in. No Circuit nor Giannis being picked up by Team Dignitas, and no aggressive supports for Trig.
We are starting to see this Giannis ban come out. People are just like, I'm done. I am done, because teams are really utilizing it very effectively now. For the longest time, it was, we're going to use this portal for damage.
Right.
And it is
the setup. Almost
no longer do we ever see that happen in team fights, unless it's like, we have secured the win, now I'm going to portal for damage.
This time around, a little bit more utility coming out from Giannis. Bellona, first picked on Team Dignitas. That will either be solo or jungle. But as we mentioned, Variety not really always lending himself towards those frontline characters. So I would venture a guess to say Frostiak as well. Apollo Sylvanus picked up for the long lane of Trig Esports.
Yeah, and Funball was actually fine against a Sylvanus Neath last game. So, but they still want that lane control. Trig Esports, their dual lane was a little bit pushed up. They couldn't be as effective. There's Chornos. That is Variety. And he's been playing this the past couple games, and they love the pick, and I think it works for them.
Chornos is one of my personal favorite gods just to watch objectively without any analysis attached to it.
It's just fun.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to play. And then, going into it a little bit deeper, Chornos actually does fare well in this. You don't have to be super afraid of the invades on your blue buff necessarily in the solo lane. We've sort of seen that dwindle a little bit as far as popularity. And, that time stop isn't going to be an easy chunk if you try to initiate on him. So cool stuff coming out from Chornos in late game, one of the hardest hitting gods you can find.
I just realized that Hercules wasn't banned and Trig didn't draft it.
Yeah.
I think the second that Hercules was drafted, Trig's like, wait, they left.
I forgot.
Trix was undefeated in the spring split with Hercules support, and then everyone just started banning it. I think he's so used to having it banned that he didn't realize that's not a joke. I want to know. I want to ask Trix later on, did he know that Hercules was available and that his team just didn't want him to have it?
Now, the Willix is going to be banned out against Cuvo Fred this time around. He'll opt for the Cabrakan, and this has been sort of the go-to. Teams have been noticing that not only is a Willix very, very good, but Cuvo Fred has been one of the first SPL players to really master her inside and out.
I think he was the first one to play it last split.
I would say so. Yeah, definitely the first one to play it at a high level, and I think the first one just to choose it at all. Really able to utilize both the offensive and defensive stuff, so pretty much just banned out against Cuvo Fred, but he's been playing this Cabrakan very, very strong, and we'll see the reprise on the bottom.
Okay. Is this Chornos ADC, or is this Hercules Odin duo? Or Bellona ADC?
We've seen the Bellona ADC come out a lot.
But what would make sense based on what we've seen is Bellona ADC, Odin jungle, Vulcan mid. Okay, the Odin is either jungle or support. So
what would make the most sense to me right here is if this was a backwards graphic. This is a Trig Esports lineup right here. Funball loves the Chornos ADC. We see Hercules support. This is a Trig Esports lineup.
That's an Epsilon lineup. Epsilon don't like hunters.
That's
an Epsilon lineup, and Dimmy loves Chornos. At the top, though, Cabrakan, Sun Wukong going to be locked in again. So Trig Esports running a very similar team comp, except instead of Giannis, it's going to be Agni. Instead of Gab, it's going to be Sylvanus. Or wait, what did I say at first? Instead of Giannis, it'll be Agni. Instead of Gab, it'll be Sylvanus.
So on the bottom side, realistically, I think we're going to see... I would like to see Chornos in the Hunter role with either the Herc or the Odin. It doesn't really matter to me. I think Hercules goes into the late game as a solo laner a little bit better.
Yep.
And then Bellona, who, in my personal opinion, works out very well as a jungler.
The big thing to me is, what does Bay play? Because I haven't seen him really play anything.
And Young Bay will be playing the Bellona in the Hunter
role. Which we've seen, right? Because the disarm really counters the Hunters out, and you could put a lot of lane pressure. And Frezzo's going to be playing Hercules support, so no surprise there. That's what we kind of expected.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then Frostyak with that Odin jungle going to be comboing with Shadow Nightmare again. And this time, Lobster's not going to be able to portal out through wall, so he might be looking for that combat blink instead.
Exactly. It's just a matter of how quickly that will come online. And, you know, Team Dignitas might have lost the game last time around, but the Shadow Nightmare Frostyak combination was what got them the lead early. It was working for the most part, so that part of the comp and that part of the team wasn't necessarily broken. They've got their solo lane hyper carry back, so Variety will be playing that Chornos to really feed that late game status, so Frostyak won't really have to worry about that with just, I put that in a careful italics, just a Chalk in the solo lane.
So we see actually Young Bay electing to go heavy hammer, so they might try and look for some, I mean, they have a Hercules Bellona. They're looking for early aggression. They're looking to find someone and kill. They want to get Trix Tank, but it's actually, out of all the supports, I'd say Sylvanus is one of the hardest to lock down for a couple of reasons. First off, he can heal himself, and he also can protect himself.
But he's big.
He's big.
He's big.
He can root people.
But he's big.
What are you trying to say?
He's just a big old target, man.
He is. But he's like, just his kit is so defensive, and it's hard to lock him down.
Look at that clear of Odin early on. Cubo Fred making the early rotation as Frostyak deletes the wave. Just Bird Bomb can absolutely delete the wave very, very quickly. We saw the same play last game. This immediate jungle rotation to the mid lane. This time Frostyak follows suit, knowing it's coming out, and able to make it the same wave as Cubo Fred.
Same thing as last time. We're going to see Team Dignitas take the early lead with that really heavy clear combo and then go back and take their back harpies. This is the most XP efficient, really clear right now. You want to try and get 5 before the enemy, and you definitely want to have 5 by the time mid camps are up.
Left-hand side, we'll take a look at Young Bay and see how he's going to fare on this Bellona. So normally we see him... Young Bay has been one of the more traditional hunters. We see a lot of weird stuff come out from... Zapman likes to play Loki and Shock sometimes, and we see the Chronos and Mages from Funball and Vulcans from Allied. Young Bay tends to stick to the traditional hunters.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, wait, they didn't draft a hunter? I haven't even seen him play Chronos before. So we'll really see how he fares on this Bellona, and you could see the strength of this dual lane. I mean, they're pushing back Trix Tank. They're pushing back the Sylvanus, and it's not because the Sylvanus is afraid of getting out-cleared. It's that he's afraid of dying if he gets out of position and Frezzo's able to pluck him.
Young Bay taking a lot of poke there, though. He's very, very low. Frezzo pushing Apollo out of the picture, but that's only to create room for his Bellona right there, sitting below half HP.
I liked Funballer dashing in there, committing, expecting Trix Tank to hit it. I mean, it's a hard ability to hit, but you committed, you trusted your teammate, just didn't work out.
And that's what won Trig a lot of the team fights last time around, was just this belief in their system, belief in their team. QO Fred lurking in the jungle. Not going to go for it.
He's level 5. He's looking for the support to rotate. He wants Frezzo to walk there.
240. Support will be rotating rather soon.
Ooh, look at this. This is a huge pinch play.
And there looks like Team Dignitas going to get aggressive. Agni dash just barely finding the hole right there. And Frostyak going to land with the Bird Bomb. Not quite enough to kill Lobster. Shadow Nightmare, though, stuck. Is looking like First Blood, and Trix Tank, the Guardian Sylvanus, goes ahead, grabs First Blood, and gets left mid-cams for his trouble. Team Dignitas quietly takes right.
And we talked about how perfect the combo was last game, but this game, just that slight inch off, Lobster recognizes it. Normally,
there was 2% safety.
He knew it too, because normally Agnis will hold their dash till the cage is about to fall and then dash through so they can escape the damage afterwards. Lobster recognized that that space was safe, and he dashes into the wall and avoids the Vulcan ult.
The big difference between skill and luck. That was a choice to go ahead and find that 2% safety zone on those circles. So this is the highest level of play. You can't let a small, and it's almost, it's a mistake, but it's tough to really ask for perfection. So.
Oh yeah, no. It is not easy to hit, especially when he used that instantly. There is no delay coming out from Shadow Nightmare, and we see Frostyak. Oh, I thought he wanted to get a little bit aggressive because he was waiting around the corner there, but
just going to save the wave for his buddy. Solo laner for Frostyak. Variety goes ahead and backs.
Now this is bad. Now that they don't have lane control, Young Bay is going to be pushed under tower, and typically where hunters can just stay back and clear the wave.
Mhm.
He has to walk up, and Youngbei, not this time, but now Youngbei is going to try and poke him when he tries to come up and clear that wave. Or excuse me, Funball will try and poke him out when he comes up to that wave.
Shadow Nightmare still leveling that backfire. Just so much easy clear. That's my preferred method of prioritization on the Vulcan skills. I enjoy that. And here comes Frostiak. A good stun from the Agni, but that Vulcan ult will hit this time. Frostiak dies to the tower, but a meatball from Shadow Nightmare will trade that out. No problem. 1 for 1.
Funball's in the air, though. He's going to land down, but Shadow Nightmare going to use the backfire to reposition himself. Frezzo's going to avoid the pluck, but he's stuck in Trimmers, and now he's stuck in the ultimate. He's going to try and boulder out. He's going to auto-attack through, cancel out Cubo Fred's ult, and walk to safety.
Very, very low is that Hercules using the mid-gate wounds too. Exactly what it's supposed to be. Cool ultimate right there. That was just, if I die, I want to die with my ultimate on cooldown.
Yep.
Very, very easy to die in that situation. Cool stuff coming out from Trig Esports, and they're going to go ahead and not quite get the first stuff, but they're going to look for the objective anyway.
Yeah, but Frostiak and Shadow Nightmare walking up there, you get a little bit scared. Shadow Nightmare is pretty low, and now Frostiak is going to get pulled out.
Gets pulled, stunned by the Agni Bomb. A little bit of damage from the Flame Wave, but a better Flame Dash to avoid the pull coming out from Hercules, which would have undoubtedly put Lobster in a very precarious situation. So able to leave there, no problem, is the mid laner from Trig Esports. Again, another heads-up, high-reaction play from Lobster.
Oh, Zalia, you are so good. Did you see that? So Bird Bomb can actually be interrupted by knockups if you time it absolutely perfectly, and he is not on land. That was pure skill coming out from Zalia. Able to get that knockup and hit Frostiak out of his jump, basically making sure that no damage occurs.
And because of that, able to get out no problem. Left-hand mid-camp spawn for the second time in this contest. They do go to Team Dignitas. Cubo Fred looking like he wants to be a little bit aggressive. Frezzo separated, but he is a Hercules, so might not be the best target. Here comes Frostiak, drops the ring down. The boulder will jump around. Wrath of Terra knocks up Trig Esports into the air. Bird Bomb will hit Lobster. Very, very low is the Agni. Can he get out? They turn around. Trix Tank gets the kill on a Frezzo. Meatball not quite able to land onto Lobster, but a backfire through the wall gets him. And this Vulcan is surrounded. Funball crashes from the sky. They'll trade in the mid lane. Cubo Fred will fall to the rotating Youngbei, but two people are surrounding Funball, and Frostiak gets credit for that one. Team Dignitas evens up the kills. 4-4 reads the scoreboard.
Great turnaround from both teams. That's going to be a 2-3 in favor of Team Dignitas, though. Shadow Nightmare able to chase down some kills. Trix Tank also able to chase down some kills in the back.
Oh, yeah.
He actually got an auto-attacked kill on Frezzo. And interesting enough, he could have turned around and actually taken out Frostiak too. You saw how low he was when he re-engaged. He was even lower than that when he left the team fight, but he tried to back off and save his team, just wasn't able to do anything out of mana.
The majority of that fight, all players were below 30% HP.
Okay.
It was very much shards of glass flying around killing people.
That fight was Frostiak Shadow Nightmare once again. I mean, they got the 3-man ult combo, and this time Shadow Nightmare, he was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to place the ult right in the middle of the players. And so even if they try and walk out, they're not going to get anywhere.
And then the immediate response from Trix Tank, the Wrath of Terra knocks all of Team Dignitas up, which allows some damage to come out from the fleeing Lobster, and just so much burst coming out from both of these teams. And, you know, the Frostiak Shadow Nightmare, Team Dignitas lost the match last time around, but this combo of the Odin Ring into the Vulcan Ultimate from two of these, a lot of times you see these combos come out and sort of forced. Frostiak's an Odin player. Shadow Nightmare's a Vulcan player. So this just sort of works. It happens to be a great combo. It didn't win them the game last time, but it was a very good boon. So change what's around that singular combo and see if it works out better. Take two. This time, Team Dignitas still slightly in the lead.
Yeah, and Lobster, he's only level 9 here, so Shadow Nightmare and Frostiak out-leveling him currently. Cubo Fred also level 8, so Team Dignitas is ahead in experience and about a 1k gold lead coming out from them.
Yeah, very, very, very small gold lead. Left-hand side. Cabrakan Ultimate is going to corral two members of Team Dignitas. Wrath of Terror will be dashed out by Frezzo, but will catch Youngbei. Half HP is the Bellona. In comes Frostiak on the side of Team Dignitas. He'll do enough damage with Bird Bomb to push off Trig and stop the assault.
I honestly think Youngbei could have engaged on that.
Agreed.
Odin ult wasn't up, but Youngbei was like, I'm getting out. Frostiak was like, I'm going in. And I think if they comboed that better, they might have been able to pick up a kill or at least get Trig low enough where they had to escape.
Bellona, a much different character than most of these other hunters. Quite the opposite of Squishy. Very, very tanky, especially with the ultimate. Eagles Rally provides so many protections. So with that mentality, it's just a difference in mentality coming out from the hunter. There's the combo. It will take out Trig's tank. The basic goes to Frostiak, surrounded as Funball. Probably should have used that ultimate to get out, but with a good mez and a better dash, Funball is safe nonetheless. Team Dignitas looks at the Gold Fury.
Xaylia here. I don't know if he has Hog 3. No, he has Hog 1 and is down. All Hog 3 is down from Trig Esports. Can they defend this, though, by killing people? Frezzo's getting low. He's going to fall. First to go, but Variety takes out Cubo in response, and he's going to reset his cooldowns and look to keep going.
Xaylia's in the air looking where to land. Looks like Lobster is on the defensive. He's running out very, very low. Just a sliver of HP. A great stun coming out from Youngbei. There's the Eagles Rally. The Bird Bomb. That's 2 types of birds. 1 type of kill. Frostiak gets to dive underneath the tower, and Odin gets 1.
Yes, but Dignitas were chasing so many kills. They got him, but now they're low and they can't contest Gold Fury. Now that
Frostiak looks like he wants to do it anyway. Lobster's still low. Can get the kill on the Agni if he's quick enough. Getting hit by Funball. Zoned out. Bird Bomb will miss. That's all of his defenses. Jump is down. So is the ring. Lobster gets the kill credit. Trix Tank using Wrath of Terra very defensively. Funball gets the kill against Variety, and the Gold Fury goes to Trig.
Dignitas, who won the first part of the fight so cleanly, chases down a couple kills, commits so hard that they were too low. And then Variety trying to take some... Oh, Trix had a blink. I almost thought he was going to get this, but now Shadow Nightmare way out of position trying to get a kill.
Kivo Fred goes ahead and picks that one up, tilting the kill lead in Trig's favor. If we take a look at the graphs right there, we can see the huge dip of where Trig Esports goes ahead and secures the Gold Fury away from Team Dignitas and winds up with a 2K gold lead.
And you could see that right there. Keep the graphs up real quick. You see the first 2 increases. That was Dignitas finding the kills and winning the team fight, and then immediately plummets back down with the Gold Fury and then a couple return kills from Trig.
I just love how aggressive that, again, these wins for Trig Esports come from calculated, what looked like wild aggression. It's not chaos, it's controlled chaos. Funball diving into 4 people just to goad them into chasing him. Xaylia's escape caught off the mark.
No ult available for Xaylia. It's probably on cooldown for just a couple more seconds. Can we take a look? 1 second up. Is he going to get it off? He will. Survives just barely.
The Monkey King on his cloud. No problemo, says Xaylia. He'll go ahead and jump into the jungle. Bird Bomb will do a lot of damage, but here comes Lobster. Gets the stun onto the jungler Frostiak. He'll take a little bit of damage from a second bomb. Stunned out is Lobster by Frezzo, using the dash to get away no problem. And Team Dignitas with what looked like a great pick, just outmaneuvered at the last second of possibility for Trig.
Xaylia had his J's on. He's
literal seconds.
He's gonna juke out Team Dignitas, survive there, and then no kills happen, but both teams, they're so aggressive, just going in and disengaging perfectly.
That right there is why Sun Wukong frustrates so many people, not just our players at home.
And Giannis.
Even Bart gets frustrated by Sun Wukong so often.
Wrath of Terra used there by Trix Tank. They tried to knock Frezzo out of his driving strike, but just a second too late coming out from Trix. And we're talking about people who are a second too late or a second too early a lot. I think really it's the fact that the other players in the game are just responding so quickly. Frezzo is always dashing just when he needs to.
That's been
Xaylia juking just enough in time to get his ult off. Everyone's playing fantastically in the series.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing a lot of the times. I mean, the first Vulcan ult that went ahead and missed.
Shadow
we'll see if this one will miss. That's going to be perfect, but no one in the ring to go ahead and hit besides Lobster. He's about half HP because of it. Frostiak very, very low. No combo from Cubo. He's looking for Frezzo. Frezzo's going to fall. So is Shadow Nightmare to the hand, and backside is a Funball. Cubo with the double kill as Frostiak falls. Variety has made the rotation. He's now in middle lane, but he's in middle lane by himself.
He needed to ult there for full health and cooldown.
Just in case.
Because he was so low, he wouldn't be able to defend that tower at that, because he would have got bursted down and not be able to use his ult. So that was a good ult from Variety.
It's also a lot of times you can put yourself in keep in mind the way Chornos ult works, it doesn't put you at max HP or in a good situation, it puts you 8 seconds in the past. So if you stay low HP on Chornos for a long time, longer than 8 seconds, if you ult, you're going to still be low HP. So you want to make sure that the positive side is where you ult. You don't want to ult to 10% HP.
It's kind of like an Wukong where you want to full commit and then use your ult. And Wukong is, I'm going to full commit, get really low, but I'm going to execute someone to heal up.
Uh-oh, right here. No ultimate available for Variety because he used it intelligently in the middle lane. He's going to go ahead and grab a double stun, but it doesn't matter. The pull from Trix, the tremors from Cubo, the whack from Zelia. Quality teamwork from Trig Esports.
Trix tank playing so well. Meanwhile, Youngbay is getting dueled out by Funballer, and Funballer is winning this fight, but Frezzo's here. He's going to get a knockup. He's going to get the driving strike here. Can Funball fight this, though? Aussie's not online yet, but it's soon going to be there. One more hit, but he's stunned out. Funball's going to try and get out of this fight, but Frezzo's not going to let him get away. Aussie activated, and Funball's going to fend off too.
Lifesteal, lifesteal, lifesteal. Devourer's gloves. Aussie. Frostiak gets a kill in the mid lane onto Lobster while we're watching all of the aggression coming out from Funball. He's not done. His Youngbay might have been the original target and got out of there, but Frezzo, the savior, the death one, comes onto Funball. Now, he'll use the ultimate as an escape this time.
Yeah, shield coming out from Frostiak, expecting to get dove on, and Zelia, the soul laner, is actually just going to be in dual lane for this time.
Yep.
Rotating for that team fight. He's already taken both tier 1 towers and right are down, so there's no need to stay over there.
Again, Funball gets a kill because of incredible aggression. It's just aggression. Pure seeing red aggression coming out from Funball, and it's working in his favor more often than not. Very cool to see this style of play.
It's so important because he doesn't have Aussie. I know I said that a lot. I'm so used to just ADCs going the Heartseeker Aussie. He's actually gone the Devo's build glove, and he was just able to hit his autos and stay alive. He's getting that lifesteal. If he starts to miss a couple autos, that's when the fight turns sour.
Yeah, and it's about the passive as well. When the Audacity comes online, you're able to lifesteal so consistently that he knows those chainsaw hits are going to come up soon. Right there, we see the 100% attack speed when both arms are up from Funball. That's when you know he feels comfortable in his ability to sort of stay in a fight despite being low HP.
Yep. Dig grouped up here. Frezzo trying to zone out players, but he could be in a lot of trouble. But Shadow Nightmare and Frostiak gonna combo out Lobster in the mid lane.
The two circle ults. Just the hoop dropping down for the alley-oop. Frezzo circled around by Trig Esports, but good rotation from Youngbay to really prevent the aggression around the Gold Fury. Frostiak, Shadow Nightmare defending this mid lane, and Chornos has made the rotation as well.
Did Dig find the pick or did Trig? Because Trig is playing like they are 5-4, not 4-5, and now we're going to see Zelia in a lot of trouble. Frostiak, his ult is down, so they're not going to be able to lock him in place.
Frezzo getting very aggressive, as a Hercules should, but he's stunned out a little bit from Cubo. There's the burst. That's the Fat Loki namesake, ladies and gentlemen. Frezzo, 40% HP on that Hercules. The heal is ticking. Zelia by himself. Ultimate is going to be used. Monkeys in the air. Variety stuck over the wall in the tremors. He'll go ahead and use a beautiful escape with the ultimate. Funball has crashed down. Funball has gotten one. Trixane gets killed onto Frostiak. It's now 2 dead on the side of Team Dignitas, and they will try to get away, but it doesn't look like Trig's going to let them. The pull beats out Variety. Great reaction.
Yeah, but a blink in by Cubo going to find the kill, and now Cubo Fred, but Lobster's back alive. He's going to turn around on Youngbay. His ult's down, but it doesn't matter. He's just zoning out the team as Trig Esports are going to sneak Gold Fury at the end of it all.
That's what Devourer's Gloves is able to go ahead and do. These Devo Gauntlets, these Devo Gloves are able to just tank a Gold Fury by yourself as a hunter.
And Youngbay's in mid lane, and he should fall here, but even if he didn't fall, look at this on the left side. Funballer is split pushing uncontested. Everyone on Dig went to the mid lane.
This is what we're seeing time and time again from Funball, understanding not just what he's supposed to do as a hunter, but what he's supposed to do with this specific hunter. He rotates to the team fights, crashing down from the sky. That's what Apollo needs to do. He solos the Gold Fury. That's what a hunter needs to do. He gets the split push. That's what an Apollo needs to do. So he's utilizing this character in this role exactly the way the textbook says.
A little bit of slowdown in action here coming out from both teams. A lot of fighting for a European game. I think, what was it, last split? We had 22 minutes.
First blood.
No kill happened.
22-minute first blood, yep.
Dig and Trig, though, they've been going at it head-to-head, and really, when you look at it, it's the old Fnatic. Okay, not this new Fnatic. I'm talking about Season 1 Fnatic. That was Frostiak and Shadow Nightmare,
which I think is the story here,
Funball
Kevin.
and Zalia.
Yeah, I think there are similar patterns to different regions, North America and Europe. But when you take a look at Europe, these are the two more aggressive sides of Europe. You've got the aggression, the pure aggression of Funball, and people like Kivo Fred on the right-hand side of your screen. And the left-hand side of your screen, those two people you just mentioned, Frostiak and Shadow Nightmare, known for heavy aggression. So Europe might be a little more passive in comparison to North America, but these two teams, anything but.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be a team. It's the Frostiak and Shadow Nightmare versus the Zalia and Funball. Zalia and Funball, we left for greener pastures, right? Per se. They formed this super team with the remnants of TS or...
I wish you guys could see the air quotes that Adonis is doing right now.
All these orgs have been changing from region, so it's very hard at teams, so it's very hard. But the old school team of Team Solo mid, and they split up, and now they're in a battle against each other.
Stunned out is going to be Frostiak, taking a little bit of poke, but it's later in the game. Odin is very, very tanky. Shadow Nightmare, 40% HP. Wonder if we can see Trig reach into the backhand side. Odin ring is down. Vulcan ult is down. Lobster uses Aegis. Funball gets the kill onto the Vulcan now that his quit is down. QO Fred kills Frostiak despite the tankiness. Frezzo, will he die? Looks like not. Hercules will make it out, but Funball is on the wrong side of the fight, stunned out by Youngbei, and he'll get the kill. Zalia does take down his teammate 1 second beforehand. Variety's dead. One member is still alive for Team Dignitas. It's Youngbei. He's very high, but can Trig do this anyway? They have 4 members here, Kevin. I think they're going to take this tower anyway.
Yeah, they're going to try and kill Youngbei here. Youngbei's ult is down. He's going to get stunned out perfectly. He's under half life. He's going to get chased out. He's trying to fight, but I mean, everyone's so full of life. And
at that situation, you know if you turn and run, you're not going to make it out. So you just turn and fight. Deal as much damage as you can. Do what you can to sort of stop the push. But here, as we approach the 21st minute of this contest, Trig Esports is double the kills and then some of Team Dignitas. The gold lead is almost 10,000 on the side of Trig. And with that last team fight, they're going to go ahead and take out not just the tier 1, but the tier 2 of the middle lane. And Trig Esports looking very, very comfortable in this second game.
Trig Esports trying to qualify for the summer finals land. They're in 4th place. They need to move up in the standings come either this week or next week, and they're putting on a good show. They're in control of their own destiny. A win here means all they have to do is show up for the final week against London Conspiracy, and they're looking good to close it out.
Dignitas very heavy on the right-hand side.
Fire Giant.
They're aware that Trig is looking very strong. They're aware that Trig has about 10,000 gold in the lead, which means that Trig will, at some point, make a dance, make a stake into the Fire Giant. So by keeping their team not necessarily on Fire Giant, but just gravitating towards the right-hand side of the stage, Kevin, you're sort of keeping yourself in position.
Team Dignitas has done a fantastic job of controlling Lobster. You see him, he is the 2nd lowest level on his team. Trix Tank, the only one under him.
Right.
But they've been controlling the mid laner, yet they're committing so much. It's always 3 or 4 ults just
and
to
he's
try
still
and kill
only
Lobster.
4, 4, and 9.
He's still ahead of Shadow Nightmare.
Frostiak stunned out a little bit. As we said, this Odin very, very tanky as the game goes on. He'll get stunned out again and chunked by Fat Loki. The Cabrakan deals a lot of damage, but, taking a look at how Odin works, you mentioned it before, it's a lot of the base stats, so he's building the regular boots just to get going, power boots, but then as the game gets later and later, defensive item 1, defensive item 2, and building into a 3rd defensive item. So this Odin just turns into a tank.
Yeah, Shadow Nightmare caught out. He's going to get rooted in place and stunned out. And I think his health just went from 50 to 0 in half a second.
Nowhere to go at all. Funball here trying to do what he can against the tower. A good Mez should be able to finish the tower on it, but instead aggresses onto Youngbei because he knows his team will show up. And in no rush is Trig Esports.
They have the lead. They don't want to risk grouping up for Fire Giant and eating the Odin Vulcan combo. Yep. They're going to safely take towers and take the lead. When all the towers are down and they find the picks they need, they'll do Fire Giant. But Trig has been playing intelligently. Play it safe. Do not risk it.
That said, Funball is still here. Very low. Gonna get comboed. Beads is gonna prevent the push from the Hercules. Here's the rest of Trig. They came in the scene very, very quickly. Funball in the air. Youngbay, he's going to be chased out. Not going to follow up is Trig. Instead, just push him. Frezzo stunned out. Tremors. He'll walk. Zelia gets the kill. No one around to help Chornos. He's all by himself, hiding around the corner. Frosty gets the ring. Almost offensively, it would look like. Never mind. There's the ult from Vulcan coming out of nowhere. Hits 3 members of Trig. 2. Lobster Aegis. In is Youngbay looking for 1. Lobster very, very low. But Funball doing damage on the other side. Taken out by the Vulcan.
Oh, Youngbay, he just barely missed the Scourge. That would have finished off Lobster. But then all of Trig Esports, Cubo Fred, Trixtank, Zelia, they protected Lobster as a team. And while Funball, he was diving pretty deep, they were keeping alive their mid laner. But Variety, she still wants to fight, blinks in, misses the time stop, and he's going to get stunned out. And Cubo Fred finds the kill, and now in the lead, Shadow Nightmare. He's trying to run, but he's going to get chased down.
Complete turnaround. That was Variety and Shadow Nightmare were enough to keep this team at bay. But once Variety hands himself over to Trig Esports, they turn around instantaneously, knowing that all Vulcan has to himself is a backfire. They go ahead and they hit tab, and they take a look at what Vulcan's building. Everything's on cooldown for a long, long time, because those are just rank 1.
Those are rank 1, and you can see that Shadow Nightmare, even with 7 deaths, he just wants damage. I mean, he finished Tahuti, he finished Book of Thoth, but he still has rank 1 actives, even though he's been getting dove consistently every team fight. So they're just, Team Dignitas wants to full commit and win team fights. Tahuti's online, but he doesn't have any pin.
Trig Esports, after that last fight, still very much in the lead. They have passed the 10,000 mark and gone past it with fervor. Team looking very, very strong in Game 2. If you're just joining us, Game 1 was just before this, and it was very tight until the very end. This one, Team Dignitas has suffered a large spread, and Trig severely in the lead, and looking to further it with this Fire Giant.
Dignitas is giving this to them. They're playing it pretty safe here. I don't know if
This is not a fight that they can fight.
It's interesting because they have the objective control. They have the objective fight with the Odin Vulcan, but they know if they walk into these small corridors that Cubo Fred is going to be able to block them off with his ult and then just trimmers them down.
And that's really been one of the main things coming out from Cabrakan, which is we're seeing the second part of the evolution. We talk a lot about Fat Loki and how much burst damage Cabrakan can do, and maximizing the ultimate and the tremors, his sort of comes secondary. Well, with the recent change, the instant cast of the ultimate coming out from Cabrakan, we're seeing how much difference that can make.
Group up by Trig. They have Fire Giant. They have 2 waves pushed up to Phoenixes.
I like that.
They're going to try and split them and make Team Dignitas go to the wrong side. And look at this. Funball is just getting that one uncontested.
We do see a chin size being built out by Funball, and that's basically because of the chunkiness of Youngbay, Frezzo, and Frostiak. Chin size, not an item that goes into a hunter build traditionally. It's too expensive. It's not enough attack speed. There are a number of other analysis points you can put, but it works exactly against what these players are.
Yep, now Frezzo, they're going to try and catch out Zelia, but it's Zelia. He's so tanky, and he's going to do more damage to Frezzo than he got taken to him.
So the reason those chin size work out very well is because they deal percent HP. Youngbay, Frezzy, and Frostiak will all have tons of HP, so penetration a good choice, but flat damage is far superior when you have 3 of these tanky guys.
Yep, the higher the health, the better chin size are. And now Frezzo, he is pushed up by himself. He's gonna barely avoid that stun.
Again, 4 and 1. Apollo on the left-hand side. Team Dignitas committing to the right side. The ring is down. The ultimate from Vulcan will also be aegis out. Lobster taking a big jump from the Bellona. Beads out the stun. Hitting the bludgeon is Youngbay. In comes the bird bomb. Lobster still the target of Team Dignitas' aggression.
Look at how much they committed, though. Cubo Fred's going to come in the back line. Frostiak going to get stunned out. Zelia takes out Youngbay. And now Funballer, he got the Phoenix and he rotated over. He's going to take out 1. Cubo Fred will take out the second, and that's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in Trig's favor.
Frostiak and Frezzo, the only ones alive. Frezzo backing from the middle of the jungle right now. Trig Esports pushing onto the Titan. And folks, this is an incredible lead that they've amassed thus far. They're looking into the fountain, but they're attacking the Titan. Titan goes down. Trig Esports takes both games in our 2-game set.
Game 1 was very close. Game 2 was not as close. We saw the Vulcan Odin ult work a couple times, and really what it was, the first couple fights, they were pretty evenly traded. I think we were like 4-4 or 5-5 in kills, but then Trig started winning them. Not heavily, but one at a time. And then I think Team Dignitas made a pretty big mistake, and Trig, great job on capitalizing at the first Gold Fury.
Okay, yeah.
Team Dignitas was chasing some kills.
Yep.
They knew they couldn't do Gold Fury, but they chased so long that by that time, we saw all of Trig heal up, come back, and able to find some return kills in Gold Fury.
Last time around, the second and third kills went to the support. This time, first blood. It's Trixank on the Sylvanus. He's going to go ahead and pick up this first blood.
Does Trix have like the most first bloods of any support? I actually want to know.
What is that slash line? I don't care what you're saying. 4, 1, and 20? 20?
Yeah, that's standard. How many kills did they have?
Not much more than 24.
He was a part of a majority of them, and he was hitting his ults. He was really timing everything perfectly, and he was very importantly too is he was throwing out the pool, and he hit it so many times without setup.
Exactly, and that was really what drove it home for me. We saw him give up Hercules. We saw Trixank intentionally.
If I want to know if he realized that.
Sure. I actually am curious about that as well. But what I'm saying here is Trixank is a character that is a great Guardian. He's a great support player, but he's known for really bringing out with Warriors, playing Guardians, as well as you need to play support at an SPL level. And then this was a different story. We saw a great Sylvanus.
Yeah, fantastic Sylvanus. Let's take a look at jungle control real quick and really see. I know it went in Trig's favor this time. Actually, not as severely as I thought. I mean, they really controlled the mid camps at 62%, but 56 to 44. Trig was allowing Team Dignitas to get their buffs. They weren't really being aggressive into the jungle. They were just winning team fights.
It's 56% on the side of Trig Esports, only 44 for Team Dignitas, and a lot of that has to do with the bottom side of our control. 3 out of 3 Gold Furies and 1 Fire Giant for the Trig squad right there, looking very, very strong where it mattered, despite Team Dignitas really bringing the objective control. You referenced it a couple of times, Kevin. The Ring of Odin and the Vulcan ultimate are usually enough to deter people from going for the big objectives, but not quite the case.
Yep. That's going to do it for EU games, though, I think. I think we have some North American games coming up next.
And we've got a full schedule ahead for Saturday, so don't forget, we still have a little bit more on this game, but just covering it, we do have Trig and Dig. That's what we just watched. 2 games to none is Trig, and then for the rest of the games, we'll see 2 North American, Team Solomid versus COG, and Denial versus AFK. But as I said, Trig versus Dig. Trig took the 2 games, and the player of the game is Kivo Fred.
Again? Did you see Trig's tank slash line? No, but I mean, Kivo Fred did the exact same thing he did in game 1, this time with a couple more kills, 10, 2, and 16.
Look at that.
He was just everywhere, and they couldn't stop him. He finally died in this game, but it didn't matter. He got everything he needed to.
Trix Frostiak was nailing the big Odin ultimates. Kivo Fred was doing that with Cabrakan ults. Getting people stuck in places they don't want to be. And again, the trigger happy. He wasn't too trigger happy with the tremors. Very, very, very content to go ahead and use them in the late part of the team fights.
That's when they're most effective. If you initiate with tremors, everyone's going to be like, all right, let's knock him up, let's stun him, let's make sure we are not stuck in tremors. When you come in the middle of the team fight with them, it's just chaos. It's much like Medusa ult. You don't want to intro with it, but coming in with it in the middle of a team fight, players are going to have all their cooldowns down, all their cooldowns off. Words, they can't respond. Just like I can't respond, apparently.
Just beads and all of your abilities down for the moment. And right now we have the split pushing phenomenon Funball with us, Hunter for Trig Esports. Congratulations on your wins, and how you doing?
Hey, thanks. I'm doing good. We're the team's very happy as well.
Can imagine, man. You guys played very, very well. It was a little even in game 1, but game 2, you really just went off and took it with a vengeance. How did you guys sort of make that adjustment going into game 2 to just win with such a big lead?
I have no clue.
Just sort of.
I guess we just got Cabrakan and Apollo again, and we just did something very similar. Okay. And they couldn't kill Lobster. They just couldn't kill Lobster. I don't know how.
Yeah, they were really committing very hard on him, I noticed. And how did Lobster respond to it? And as a team, I actually saw it multiple times. Was your goal to protect Lobster with your frontliners?
I don't think it was. I did whatever I wanted, honestly, in that game.
Okay.
While they made Lobster feed, you know.
Yeah,
just normal.
Yeah, we're watching the
2v1.
incredible 2v1 right now, where you went ahead and forced Young Bay out and then went and killed his savior, the Hercules. Really cool stuff. You seem to have really driven it up for this this summer split. You're playing at an incredible level. Is there anything different in your routine, or is this just sort of how you've always played?
I think with this team, obviously, I feel like we're all much stronger, and I feel like we can. I can just play how I actually want to play.
Okay.
Yeah, you seem to have a lot of breathing room to either split push or be very aggressive. That's what we noted here in the booth during the game. Just a lot of aggression coming out from you. So really able to just have the freedom to do what you want is really, really cool.
I have one final question before shoutouts and all that. How did you convince Trix Tank to play Sylvanus over Hercules? Did he even realize it was up?
Hercules is actually bugged right now.
Oh, okay.
The two sometimes doesn't pull and sometimes doesn't do damage at the same time.
Ouch.
Well, that's how you convinced him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Now, is that the truth, or is that just what you told Trix
No,
Tank?
yeah.
Well, you have to find out for yourself.
All right, Funball. Again, congratulations on your wins. Congratulations on how well you guys have been doing. You got any shout-outs or call-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Shout-outs to my team. Shout-outs to Lops Eden. Shout-outs to Elo Hype Chat. And shout-out to Pecky's.
Yo, Pecky shout out.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, Funball. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you next time. So, I just want to point this out.
Okay.
We've had Funball, we've had Zelia, we've had Cuvo. They all shout out lobster feeding. Every single one of them.
I think we had Trix on before too. I don't know if he shouted out lob feeding, but I thought we had Trix too.
Very fun stuff.
Is Lob going to shout out himself for feeding if they win next week?
Honestly, I would believe it. I would believe it knowing Lobster. So very cool to see how that crowd interacts and such. That's going to be it for Trig versus Team Dignitas. Trig takes it 2-0 in a number of fashionable ways. TSM versus COG. Coming in next. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more SPL.